Before we begin, pause, not to understand, but to feel. Take a slow breath in, and as you breathe out, just imagine your life. Not today, not this moment, but your life as a whole, from beginning to end. Because today, you are not here to think about goals. You are here to look at something deeper, something most people avoid, not intentionally, but unconsciously. The end. Vedant sat quietly, but this time he was not observing thoughts. He was observing time, the flow of life, the movement of years. And something shifted. Because for the first time, he was not asking, "What should I do next?" He was asking, "What will remain?" And that question changed everything. Because now, it was not about success, it was about significance. Not about achievement, but about impact. The voice responded softly. You don't build success, you build legacy. Vedant paused, because that felt different. What is legacy? He asked. The voice continued. Legacy is what remains when you are not there. That created silence, because now this was real. Not future planning, not ambition, but truth. At some point, everything you are doing today will end. The work, the effort, the struggle, the success, all of it. And what remains is not what you achieved, but what you created. In people, in impact, in energy. The voice spoke again. You are not here to just achieve. You are here to influence. Vedant leaned forward, because now this was deeper than anything before. So how do I build legacy? He asked. The voice responded, by how you live, not by what you collect. That shifted everything. Because now, it was not about results. It was about presence. How you show up, how you act, how you treat others, how you live your truth. Because that creates ripple effects beyond you, beyond your life. And that is legacy. Not something you plan, but something you become. Vedant closed his eyes, because now he could feel it. All the previous episodes, all the layers, awareness, clarity, action, identity, meaning, purpose, they were not separate. They were building something deeper, a way of living. And that way of living creates legacy, naturally, effortlessly, powerfully. The voice continued. You don't need to chase legacy. You need to live consciously. That was simple but profound. Because conscious living creates intentional impact. And intentional impact creates lasting influence. Vedant opened his eyes, because now he understood. He didn't need to chase success. He needed to live in alignment. And that alignment would create everything else. So he asked one final question. What is one way I can live today that will matter beyond today? And that question created awareness. Not of goals, but of actions. Small actions, simple choices, that carry meaning, that create impact, that influence others. And that is where legacy begins. Not at the end, but now, in this moment, through your choices, through your presence, through your way of being. And maybe that is the truth. You don't build success, you build legacy. Because success is temporary, but legacy is timeless. Now just notice this. If your life ended someday, what would remain? Not what you did, but how you lived. And if that answer doesn't feel right, you can change it. Not tomorrow, now. Because legacy is not in the future. It is created in the present. Through every moment, through every choice, through every action. And that is how life becomes meaningful, complete, and real.